Baba's John, and oddly enough, Bao had never read the Gospel of John. And when he was in Jangir Hospital for a blockage, I would sit and read the book to him in the afternoon. And of course, he was quite taken with it. And since it's Easter, if you don't mind, I'll read it. And it gets somewhat confusing towards the end because John is writing in the third person. And it's only in this moment, only when I reread it now did I understand it and how it applied to Bao. So if you don't mind, so this is from the Gospel of John, verse 21. After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, and on this way he showed himself. There were together Simon Peter and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 other of his disciples. Simon Peter saith unto him, I go a-fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was now come, Jesus stood at the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Jesus. Then Jesus saith unto them, Children, have you any meat? They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. Therefore that disciple whom Jesus loved, the disciple whom Jesus loved is John, i.e. Bao, whom Jesus loved, saith unto Peter, It is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and the fish laid thereon, and bread. Jesus saith unto him, Bring of the fish which you have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land, full of great fishes, and 153, for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. Jesus saith unto them, Come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. Jesus then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. This is now the 3rd time that Jesus showed himself to his disciples after he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Jesus saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, knowest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. He saith unto him again the 2nd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved, because he said unto him the 3rd time, Lovest thou me? And he saith unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, whence thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch out thy hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify God. And when he had spoken, he saith unto him, Follow me. Then Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Jesus loved, that's John, Bao, following, which also leaned on his breast at the Last Supper, and said, Lord, which is he that betrayeth thee? Peter, seeing him, saying to Jesus, Lord, what shall this man do? Jesus saith unto him, If I will that he tarry until I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. In other words, If I want John to wait until I come again, what is thou to thee? Follow thou me. Then went they saying abroad among the brethren that this disciple John should not die. Yet Jesus said not unto him, he shall not die, but if I will that he will tarry till I come, what is that to thee? This is the disciple who testifies of these things, i.e. John, and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. Excuse me. And there were many other things which Jesus did, which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself would not contain all the books that should be written. Amen. Sorry. So in other words, that John should wait until Jesus appears again. Happy Easter.
Happy.
Very nice.
Now I think so. Now Charlie will say something about Easter.
Oh, about Easter. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go back earlier. Janice was saying, I think it was Janice was saying that you didn't have any Easter bunny there, and so I'll go back to that because I just want to make sure you all really feel that Easter is upon us. Okay. Hold on. Hopping down the bunny trail, hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Now you can all feel like you've seen the Easter bunny today.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
But well, you know, it is beautiful. All the memories that, you know, of Jesus and what took place with the crucifixion and all of that. And one of my very favorite things was Bob was saying that the man who came up to kick him when he was carrying the cross and he was down, slipped and fell down, and his face was right next to Baba's and next to Jesus's face. And it was such astonishment, you know, that on the man's face. And that was one of the things that Baba said that he always remembers from that period of carrying the cross. And one of the things that was, you know, and the man's astonished face, which was really incredible. And I was thinking, you know, we're from Janice's song of "Were You There When," you know, when they hung him on the cross. And I was thinking of my dear friend Dana Fields, who was someone who I spent probably about 15 years driving him to Phyllis's meetings and everything else. And we're extremely close and best of friends. And Baba told him that in the time of Jesus, he was one of the soldiers at the crucifixion. Well, you can't hear news like that from Baba without you having a very, very strong love for Baba, knowing that he has molded you and taken you from that and moved you into where you are. You know, it's just, and you know, you have to be strong to look at your past lives and other things of that nature. But to have been there and been one of the soldiers at the crucifixion was really a lot. But it was one of those things that only someone as strong as Dana could take that and use it as something, a motive to move forward. And Dana loved Baba so much that I'll just tell you a couple of wonderful things about Dana. He loved Baba so much that when we went to the 69 Darshan, he had around his neck a portrait of Baba, not just a medallion, but a full portrait of Baba that he was carrying. And it was just, it was one of those things. And if you went to Dana's house, he had Baba's pictures on everything, not just in his house, but in the refrigerator. He would have Baba's pictures all over inside the refrigerator. And you know, most of us will put them in the bathroom, but here and there, but very few of us will put them in the refrigerator too. It was like, it reminded me of Bhau eating the entire banana, you know. It was that sort of love that Dana felt for Baba. And it was just, Dana was quite something in that direction. He just had tremendous love. And one of the fun things, whenever we are driving, we'd be going along, and if all of a sudden we come to a traffic accident or something there, Dana would say, "Oh, this is my fault. I wasn't imaging Baba properly." And I know he was being honest, because he really imaged Baba all the time like that, just continuously. And so it was very interesting. So after a while, I decided I should work with this and make it part of a routine. And so whenever we came to a backlog of traffic or something like that, I said, "Dana, this is all your fault. You're not imaging Baba properly." And he loved it. And so it was one of the ways for him to remember Baba and for me to have fun with him. And it was delightful. But it was one of those things that he was a very dear person. And Baba had a lot of fun with him too, up at Mehernath about the grapes and all of the stuff that went on there. And he was he was just a perfect, also at Myrtle Beach, he was one of the, what you say, sort of the clowns in the program, to make it fun for Baba. And so it was really, it was just delightful. So it was a lot of fun. But that was one of the memories of that I was thinking of Easter, it brought up that memory.
Charlie, can I just say one thing? And
Yeah.
everyone may know this, but I heard that when the fellow who went to kick Jesus, he was a very chubby fellow.
Yeah, fat man.
He missed and fell. And I
Yeah.
heard Baba said that even in all of that suffering, I had to laugh.
Yeah. well, it's one of those things that I think we could all, feel the transformation taking place within that soul. And it's kind of an interesting thing, because therefore, by the grace of God, we have no idea where each of us are come from or where we're going or the different episodes, but we know we've been tied with Baba from so many lifetimes that through ancient history. So all we know is that it's his grace that we're here. It was his grace all the way back, all through this time period. So it's just wonderful, though, to reminisce about what if or what was the past. But I know we were all there, so it's not like, yeah, yeah, it's one of those things.
Really good, Jai. Baba told this story. I will tell about Jesus Christ. Naja Irani, she was the cook of Ladies Mandli and Baba's cook. She used to cook food for Baba and for Ladies Mandli. Mostly, all the time it used to come in her mind, only she's working in the kitchen. Other ladies, only they sit with Baba. They enjoys everything, and she never got the time to sit with Baba, and it was in her mind. Then one day Baba called her, and Baba told the story of Jesus Christ, and Baba said the McDonald was there and Martha Magdalene, Mary Magdalene and Martha, both they were there. And Martha used to sit near Jesus Christ all the time. And Magdalene, she used to work in the kitchen. And she also used to think, she never get time to sit near Jesus Christ. But Martha, all the time, she doesn't do any work. And all the responsibility is on her. And the Jesus Christ, then he called her. And he told, just Martha, she's obeying me. My order is there just to sit near me. And she's obeying my order 100%. That is her duty. And I have given that duty to sit. Even you feel that she is not doing anything, but she is doing the hard work. You don't know what work she is doing, because that is her responsibility. I gave that duty to her, and I gave the duty to you to cook into the kitchen kitchen, and you have to fulfill your responsibility, your duty, because that is also my order. And then Baba said to Naja, the ladies, they sit with me. That is my order, and they are following my order. And my order is for you. Just do the duty in the kitchen, and you must do properly. And that is the thing, God, it tells the work to one person, second person, no work, but person even sits near the God. But that is also God's order, different types of order, and we have to follow that, and that is the thing. One can follow whatever God says, do the work or not do anything, just sit and enjoy. That is also the hard work. And follow him, follow his order. That is the most important thing. But all of us, we are human beings. That's why all this doubt, the differences, it comes all the time, And this is the story just told by Baba. That's why it is good. Same thing with William Donkin also. After when New Life, when he came back, Baba never gave him any work. And Baba said, that is your duty, not to do anything. And that is the hard work, hardship. And he was following like that, hardship. Then he was at Meherabad, nothing, no work. Then he used to go to swim. That well is there. He used to jump into the well, and then he used to swim. And that was the drinking water. Then Padre used to get very upset with William, and he used to say, never do such type of the thing, never jump into the well. And then every day, both they used to fight, quarrel, argument, for small things, and he did not have any work. Then most of the time, he used to keep himself occupied. And Padre used to come, and Padre used to say, this is the drinking water, you should not do such type of the thing. And then quarrel, and then argument. Then he used to plant the fruit trees, that I don't know what it calls in English, but amrak, amrak, what it calls. That is the fruit, he used to plant that, the sitafal, that is the custard apple, and he used to plant, and Padre used to get very upset because no water, and just you are giving water to the plantation, and then he used to fight like that, and the other work was not there, Baba told not to do anything. Then he used to keep him occupied, and every day the quarrel. Then at last he got fed up with Padre, and then he shifted to Ahmednagar trust office. When he shifted here, Ahmednagar, here also without work, and Meherabad was really quiet, peaceful place, very peaceful, very quiet. But here Ahmednagar, then speaker, noise, sound, car, road, and then he used to get more upset. It was difficult for him. Then from here, he shifted to the Vilu Villa, the place of Sarosh. And just Baba dropped his body. And after that, he also died, I think so, after 6 months. 6 months he died.
Yeah.
And he was not that much old, but
Right
that is
after the darshan, the
Yeah.
69 darshan.
69 darshan. Baba gave him the last work, 69 darshan, to take care of the Vaishnavas, whoever comes to the Pune for darshan program, 69 darshan. And then he arranged everything very properly, hotels, food, restaurant. He did very nice job. And then afterwards, he adopted the body, he died. And that is the work, when God says, the no work, but that is also the hard work, what God says one should follow. and he did that, he was following that most of the time, then once some relative came from the London, his nephew, and that time really he was very, very happy, and then he took him to the Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani, different places in his car, and he was very, very happy. That was, I saw his happiness. But other time, most of the time, sadness came to him, maybe depression or sadness. Because without work, also difficult to survive to the person.
Well, you and Sheila became very close to him when
Oh,
he
yeah,
was there
we
at the
were.
trust office, and I really think that you two added a lot to his life. I think you really, I think he really looked forward to being with both of you and enjoying you, because that's my impression, is that he really loved children, and I think you two brought out something in him that really made him very, very happy. And so I think you two added to his life tremendously as far as enjoyment. Yeah.
Yeah. And Christmas also, he used to bring does the firework, that different type of firework, not like this, but different type of the firework he used to do, and he used to enjoy in that. He used to enjoy in that.
Well,
Yes.
one of my most favorite books is The Wayfarers. And I read it, I don't know why, but I read it over and over. And the cover's falling off of it. I read it so much. I don't know why, but it's fascinating to me.
Yeah. He was God intoxicated, his behavior was like that, totally God intoxicated. Once, I fell down, and just the injury was there on my leg. And then he did, the cleaning, and just, the bandage and that he put, and it took 5 hours to him, to do that work.
Yeah.
He used to clean the legs, then again he used to clean, he used to keep the big bucket of warm water, and then he used to clean that, and he was like a God intoxicated, like real must.
Yeah.
Because he also went with Baba in Mast tour, and then he also became the God intoxicated.
Tell about driving Adi's car.
Not Adi's car, his own car was there.
Okay.
He brought the car from London, and that car was there. Then he told Baba, just you can sit in my car, and Baba agreed. And then Baba, he sat in his car. He felt very happy. After that, he used to go in Mahabaleshwar. Mostly he used to go to the Mahabaleshwar and he used to stay there. His one servant, the Moti Kamle, he used to take him. And then 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, he used to stay there in Mahabaleshwar. Then again he used to come back, but he was got intoxicated totally, Sometimes he used to get very upset, and then from his cupboard, he used to throw all the dresses, and then he used to put on the floor outside. And then he used to walk with his muddy shoes on the all the clothes, and then afterwards Moti used to collect, then he used to clean all the coat, pant, everything he used to do that, that was different. Sometimes, the ice cube he used to bring, big ice cube, and then in his room he used to keep, and he used to sleep on that. He used to sleep on that. Night time we used to sleep on that cube, many times we observed, then when the room used to become watery, then Moti used to clean everything, but he used to bring that big ice cube, and he used to put on floor, and then he used to sleep on that. He
Do
totally
you
was-
remember? Oh, somebody else. speak.
Yeah.
Do you remember when little Danny McGuire was alive? I think
Yeah.
one of the first times that Erich ever saw him, he looked at him and I wasn't there, but have been told this. He looked at him and said, "I used to call you Don, and felt that Danny had been Donkin. And you remember,
Fauci thought so too.
yeah, that, yes. And at the end of Danny's life, after the accident, you know, when Jeff and Lynn were taking care of him every day, there was a day when I needed to call Jeff. He had just gotten to Danny's room. So he answered, but he put the phone down for a minute. And I heard him speaking to Danny. But the most profound thing was you could feel such a powerful feeling emanating through the room, through the phone from that room. It was just enormous, whatever this was. Baba's presence in him, it was overwhelming. And I remember when Jeff would say, he'd show Danny different mathematical problems and he'd point to the answer. The sense I had was it wasn't his regular mind that was working, that he just knew. He was in a place of knowing. It was amazing. Okay, that was Danny McGuire, not Donkin, but I wanted to share that.
I had a wonderful time with Danny. He was always a child that I absolutely loved. And so I'd always spend time sitting with him and just enjoying it at Phyllis's house. We'd always, you know, be together and do things. And so I'd take him also just on with the other kids, I'd take them all to Raging Waters, a big water park that had huge big water slides and everything. And we'd have a wild day. And we'd do this quite often, and it was a lot of fun. And so it was sort of a thing that Danny was someone who was extremely close to my heart, you know, that I not only loved his parents, I loved him. And it was one of those things that really, it meant a lot to me to have him as one of my very favorite children. Yeah. And I had no idea that all this, that he might have been a Don in the past. I just knew him for Danny, and I just loved him as a rascal. Yeah, just really sweet child. Yeah. No, even to this day, I still reflect quite often. I reflect on Danny. Yeah, remembering him.
Yeah, every now and then I do too. Can I change the subject totally and ask you a question, Mehernath, that's totally unrelated?
Yeah.
Baba is said to have made the comment that Russia holds the key in the future. Do you remember him saying anything more than that?
No, I don't remember.
Well, that was short.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in the late 1970s, whenever I went to Myrtle Beach, Kitty would tell me three things. Russia holds the key. Steve Taylor should find a nice girl and get married. And boy, was that a saga. Any of you who knew Steve and his wife fleeing Afghanistan. And the third thing is that I should write a book about Baba's animals. But anyway, for years and years, people used to give me a lot of stick when I repeated what Kitty told me. And they said, oh, no, that doesn't mean now. That meant World War II. You know, that's over now. Russia held the key then. It's not now. But if you knew Kitty, having conversations with her was very interesting because she did live in the eternal now. She would mention stuff that happened 5 years ago, stuff that was going on at the moment, and stuff that would happen 20 years from now, all in the same breath, and trying to untangle exactly which tense she was using was always very difficult. But it's very interesting now that Russia does seem to hold the key of some kind.
Yeah. I felt from Dr. Ken Moore's time that it was future, definitely future.
But Fauci seemed to remark at times that it was in the future, that for what was taking place, that it would be that way. And I don't know if you remember, it came up the conversation every so often when the Queen of Russia was on the Fauci chat, and there were different things like that. And so different things would pop up and people would just all of a sudden say, oh yes, I remember that part. But Bauti seemed to be referencing it towards the future, sort of an issue. So it'll be, but for certain, it definitely is now.
Well, now
And
I also heard, and I don't know if it's true, but I've heard on more than one occasion that when someone asked Baba, what about Russia and America? He said, Russia and America are like two wrestlers. America will be brought to her knees and Russia will never rise again.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
That sounds
Yeah.
very serious. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
as we know it now, but I've heard that on a few occasions. I don't know if it's true or not.
I
There
feel
also-
like
Side question
used
is
to-
Marina the queen of Russia? Who was the queen of Russia? Was that Marina?
yeah, Marina was the queen of Russia. And I feel like I heard Bao say something like what Norman just said. I feel like I've heard him say something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he also say how sorry he felt for the Russian people? Or maybe that's, I'm going back to Dr. Kenmore's time, that there was a lot of sadness for what the Russian people would go through. It would be very difficult for them. There's a
Baba's
show.
master plan. Baba's master plan, yeah. We don't know.
Yeah. Wait, I think back to what it was it in, I get my years mixed up, late 50s, 54, something like that, when Baba said so much. But he said in 75 years, they would be coming to his tomb. Wasn't it in the millions? So 75 years from then, we're approaching kind of quickly. So at least we know that there at least have to be millions of people left alive to go to Baba's tomb.
And I think he asked the women at one point, how would you like me to have the whole process take place? And they said, quickly, Baba, you know, sort of they're talking about the whole thing taking place of the final episode, so you would say, of the world's situation. And so that was sort of an interesting thing that would take place. And you know, there was something else there. Yeah, no.
I think he actually said, would you like to have it happen all at once or lots of little wars? And I believe they said, no, just lots of little wars. I could be wrong.
What I remember was, do you want another world war or lots of little events? And they said they wanted the small events.
Maybe that was it. Yeah.
When the chaos comes, I remember that phrasing, when the chaos comes.
The one I heard was that somebody asked about, you know, another world war, and Baba said, no, just brush fires. But
Mera si asked Baba, you know, the world is just one time, you should not destroy the world. And Baba said to Mehera, no, it won't happen like that. You know, step by step, you know, world will destroy. The war will take place step by step, not just at one time, you know, the world will not destroy.
Yeah. One day I spent the day with Rano, and we went through all of her artwork over in Meherbad and Meherzad and just everything, and just really wonderful. But it was interesting because when it came to the picture of the devastation with the tank and all the suffering and everything that's in Montley Hall, it was one of those things that she just said, well, this is exactly how Baba wanted this painting to be painted. He said he wanted this here and that there, and just exactly this way. And this was nothing more than filling out Baba's, you know, vision of what he wanted to present to all of his lovers as this is going to be what we're going to see take place. So that was, you know, a very, very powerful painting too. A very, very concerning. Yeah.
Which painting are you talking about?
This is the one in Mondley Hall. It's a vision of the tanks and the people suffering and this and that. And it's
I
really,
don't remember.
oh yeah, no, it's on, it would be past where Eric sits towards the back
Uh-huh.
on the side. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember it.
Well, it was interesting. And so for Baba to go and have her paint a painting of the whole
Yeah.
situation too is kind of remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, no, but it is amazing how every day the news is scary. It just, it's really, like I was saying earlier, it's just, if you don't have Baba in your life, it'd be hard to see how, there's anything positive through everything. It's just, it's so, once it's all in his hands, it makes a huge difference of how it plays out and all of this and that. It's all in Baba and the spiritual hierarchies, working it piece by piece. So we'll see how it fits together. Yeah.
One of the must said in the Wayfarers that, and I'll have to paraphrase, don't you know that the leaders of the countries are nothing but puppets in the strings of the hands of the avatar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes hard to remember.
Yeah. And how difficult, to be one of those puppets. I mean, how blind they have to be to do the acts they do, because inside everybody is God, and inside their own suffering and their own awakening will be, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to have a conversation with one of them about my little grandkids, just as long as they're protected.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. If Hitler had been a nice person, would he have been fulfilling his dharma as
No.
opposed to what he became? Now, how do we figure out, how do we make our dharma and our karma coincide?
Well,
No,
it's
yeah,
interesting how, even though it's said of Hitler, he was what, fifth plane or some high level saint, and yet Baba did chastise when he said if he had taken his punishment differently rather than committing suicide, it would have been more meaningful or much better. So you would think, because he was such a high level saint, that would not have been the case. Although how can one imagine? I don't know what fifth plane saints are like.
I was thinking about something that Bhau had said about which disciple loved Baba the most, or loved Jesus the most. And the answer was very surprising. It wasn't which disciple did Jesus love the most, but which disciple loved Jesus the most. And it was Judas, who Bhau said that Baba had gone to him and said, would you betray me? And, all the other disciples, of course, would be like, I can't remember the story of Baba's chapels, none of his mandali would, sorry.
Yeah.
Should I continue or?
Oh, yeah. No, that really is fascinating. Yeah.
None of Baba's mandali would wear his chapels. It was just some Dobi or somebody who would wear his chapels. And that Judas was the only one who would do what Jesus would tell him to. And he actually, again, I'm terrible memory, something to the effect that Jesus did not want Judas to commit suicide, but because for 3 days he was in Nirvikalp, he had no control over everything. And within those 3 days, Judas hung himself. So it's interesting that, our perception of Judas as this horrible traitor when he was the only one willing to follow Jesus's order. And I often wonder about that too, in terms of Satan, aka Lucifer, who was the highest archangel, whether he actually received an instruction so that God would have a worthy adversary. Anyway, speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like Hollywood. You can't have a good movie if you don't have a good villain. Yes.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
no,
it in a nutshell, Charlie.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, where would James Bond be without Blofeld
Yeah.
or Dr. No or any of those guys? Yeah, just some bureaucrat, pencil pushing bureaucrat in the MI6.
Yeah, that's it. Well, our hearts go out to all those people in the middle of it. I've got to say, I just, I'm so proud of the president of, Ukraine and all the different, you feel like such, dear people putting their best into it and making the most of a horrible situation. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And all the women, all the or most of the refugees are women and children, because men between the ages of 18 and 60 aren't allowed to leave the Ukraine.
Yeah, no,
18 and 60, what a broad range.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really is amazing. And they're being shipped all over, not only Europe, but the rest of the world. And so it's interesting how this is playing out. It's really making a unifying factor within the world that all of a sudden everybody has people connected to the event in their country and what's going on. Yeah. So this is very interesting as it just goes out. Oh, good. Here we go. I see a drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a cute kitty on Mother P's chair before.
Yes. He's,
Anna, do you want to sing?
I sang something, but I can sing again. Are we waiting for Maha though?
Maha is going to come, but she'll be a few minutes.
Okay, I'll sing one more song. Who wears the dawn form of the heart's awakening? I call him Meher, my friend and my king. Who wears the dawn form of the heart's awakening? I call him Meher, my friend and my king. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba. He is the sight that I am longing to see. He is my true self is he. He is the sight that I am longing to see. He is my true self is he. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba. The musk scent of his name, wonderfully sweet, entices me on the way to his feet. The musk scent of his name, wonderfully sweet, entices me on the way to his feet. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba. Ki Jai, Jai Baba.
Yay, Baba.
Very nice.
Another thing that I've been, thank you, Anna, that was beautiful. Another thing I've been pondering, and maybe you all
Very
can help
beautiful.
clarify it.
Chifa,
is
your
that-
head's cut off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Is
Footless and
that
headless.
Jesus was hanging on the cross. He pointed to Mary and said, "Mother, behold your son," and pointed to John. And then he pointed to John and said, "Son, behold your mother." And I never heard any follow-up or anything else about it. And since, the worship of Mary is so huge among the Catholic Church, I never heard anything mentioned in that context. Anybody have any ideas?
Well, he took care of her till the end of her life, I believe. They went to
Yeah,
Rose or somewhere, and he
that
stayed
was my
there.
impression too, that it was looking after her. He was assigning him, this is, you two look after each other. That was my impression, even giving instructions from the cross on her happiness and taking care of her. Yeah.
And the Catholic Church would not want to put emphasis on it because to those who didn't understand, they might think that Mary had another child. And there are enough people who think that anyway. You know, is that Mehernath?
Mehernath had to take a phone call. I'm not quite sure, something a bit important. Now he comes on.
You know what, Jai Baba, one Baba lover, his call came from Europe. His name is Thomas. He wants all Baba's books. And he said, just Joanna Tompkins is to reply me, but since long she is not replying me, and I want the Baba books and these. I think so. Last time he called Lord Meher, all the volumes, and that volumes are with him. But he said just he likes to make the website and library and spread Baba's name and books. Then he said, Joanna Tompkins is not replying me. Why? Then I said, now she is here. You can talk to her and she will give you all the details. Now he's very happy, very happy.
Good. What country was he from?
From Europe somewhere,
Somewhere,
it's-
yeah.
Europe, and he never visited India.
Yeah.
He heard Baba's name, and then he said just Lord Meher, you can send. And long back we did that, we sent the
That was to somebody, Paul Gregory in London, somebody
Hmm.
different. I don't think he got any books from us.
Not this guy. He said Lord Mary got,
Oh, we did.
but long back he said he got, but he will read. He said, but he wants other books also. He wants to make website library for Baba books also. And just now, Joanna says talking with him, and that is good.
That's good.
He will get all the information about books and about everything. That is really nice. We are talking about William Donkin. William Donkin was there in Hyderabad with Baba, and Rano was also there. And Rano really, she was very fond of chocolates, good quality chocolate. And once William, he purchased the chocolate for Rano. He went to the market and he purchased chocolate for her. And that he brought. When he brought, he gave that packet to the Rano. And Rano felt very happy because, Baba's restriction and Baba's time also, Baba used to look after everything. Each of the time he used to look after food. The mandli person should not eat from outside. Nobody should give to the mandli. And the hard time for them. And Ranu, when she got that chocolate package, she felt very happy. She took inside and she started opening the packet, and Baba came from behind, and Baba said, "What is this in your hand?" And she said, "Nothing, William. He gave me the chocolate he purchased from bazaar for myself, and he gave to me." And Baba said, "My permission, why you have taken that chocolate, just." And she was new, and she just felt insulting. It is really the big insult for her, just only for the small chocolate also Baba is not allowing to take the gift, and just she became sad. But Baba said, "Now just go and give that back to the William Donkin." And then she went, and then she said, "I don't want your chocolate." Just Baba said, "Don't take, and take back." And step by step, what is the detachment? Baba used to teach, the monthly person how to detach from the food, how to detach from the worldly life. And then they got that practice step by step by step. Same story is there about the Dr. Ghani. He was in Lonavala, and he thought, just purchase the peanut, chikki, the peanut chikki, the brown sugar jaggery and peanut they make from that, small pieces, and that chikki purchased for the monthly people, and he gave to everybody. When he gave to everybody they felt very happy, something new things now will get that to it. And Baba just came, and Baba saw that, and Baba got very upset on Dr. Ghani. And Baba said, "Why you purchased without my permission?" And he said, "Baba, mostly monthly they don't get anything to eat, that's why I thought it is better, to give something to them." Baba said, "Collect from each one now. Go to each one's room and collect that chikki." Ghani, he went in each one's room, and he collected all the chikki from the monthly. And Baba said, "Now you can put the coat, pant, necktie, and go in bazaar, just stand on street and sell all the chikkis. And what money comes, that money you can give to me." Ganesh said, "Baba, in Lonavala, most of the people, they know me. And they know Meher Baba's follower. I am the follower of Meher Baba. That is really, people feel, big insult to you because I am your follower. And most of the people, my friends also, they know I'm the devotee of Meher Baba. And I stay, and if I sell the chikki on street, what people will feel that, And Baba said, "Let it be. Don't worry about anything, about my insult and that, just go and stand on street and sell that chikkis." And then he did, and he sold the chikkis, and he brought money, and he gave to Baba. That is the life with Meher Baba. Now even it is the small incident, but Baba used to teach, how to detach from the everything, and he used to teach that detachment. And then people, monthly people, they learned step by step, and then they changed everything. That's why to give the gift also, anybody, or to accept the gift also, Baba never liked. Baba never liked, and Baba used to control that to Mandli. And then Mandli, they were like a dead body, and dead body used to travel here, there, according to Baba's mind, universal mind. What Baba used to say, they used to follow Baba's wish, and that is in action, not just reading the book and telling about my wish. His wish was in life, in action. Mandli used to learn that, and that is also for our life also, how to detach from everything, step by step, and that is the real detachment, and how to follow his wish.
Mehernath, I've got to show you. This is a box of a chikki from Lonavala that I bought in India.
Yes. Lonavala chikki, that is good. That is cashew nut, na? Cashew nut chikki. Cashew nut.
Okay. Well,
Peanut or
okay.
cashew nut. Good. Really good.
Acha.
How long ago did you buy it? Was it
My
Oh.
last trip, I don't recall exactly when that was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've kept it sealed in a bag in my refrigerator.
Oh.
So hopefully it's still good. I had
Yeah.
another box and I ate it. It was good. So
That's good.
But hide from Baba. Don't show to Baba. Otherwise, Baba will say, just return back to India. Go to the Lonavala and stand there, in Bazaar and just
Sell
sell.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
he'll have me standing out in front of my house.
Yeah, selling it.
Selling that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that is the detachment of the God, man, how to detach from everything. And that is really the good lesson for everybody, how to control our mind, desire, wants.
I think the control is the fact he hasn't eaten it. And how long was the last trip? That was, I mean, that's control.
Yeah. Gotcha.
He was not allowing anything, to the Mandli person to eat that, Even Mandli used to go to Bazaar outside. Baidul was there, that story, I think so. And Pune center, different centers, they used to come to Baba in Guru Prasad and they used to tell, we did this much work, we spread your name everywhere. And Baba used to listen first day, second day, third day, same thing. We did the bhajans and many people, they came, we talked about you and we spread your name. Then Baba said, Baba got fed up 3-4 days, same repetition, just talking about themselves. Then Baba told Baidul, and there was another guy, just go to the Andhra people's colony is there in Pune, and go to the that colony and spread my love, spread my name. He told to Baidul, and Baidul, Baba said, but remember, just you had to walk. It was summertime, and you had to walk from here. I will not give a single penny to you, no money. For food also, I will check that how you will eat, because I will not give anything to you. You have to manage yourself. And Baidul and that other guy was there with him. Both they went in Andhra people's colony, and then they talked about Baba. It was like 3 kilometers from the Guru Prasad, and hot summer, no money, and they did evening. They came and just they told Baba. Baba the next day again the Bhajan Mandli. They came to Baba. And then Baba called Baidul and that guy. And Baba asked them, yesterday where you went. And they said, according to your instruction order, we went to the Andhra people's colony. And what you did, we spread your name, we told to each one. Then Baba said, how you went there? By walk, because you have not given us the single penny. No money was there with us. Then what about food? They said we did not eat because no money. Only that people, they gave us the water. We drank that water. But from morning to night, no food, nothing. And then what happened? Just perspiration. And it was very hot, very difficult night time. When we came back 3 kilometers, we got very, very tired. And then Baba said, shameless people, both of you, you said you went for my work, spread my name in that colony, but continuously you were thinking about your own self, no, you did not eat food, no money, you walk from here to the Andhra people's colony 3 kilometers, and then perspiration, you got tired, and such type of the shameless people, jungly people, you will not able to do my work, because you have your own self only. I did this and I got tired and this and that. And he said front of that Bhajan Mandli who came from outside, and they got shocked And the next day they stopped, telling about we did this and we did that, and Baba used to teach in a different way to the people. And everybody has their own self. Yes, we did this for Baba. We spread Baba's name. We used to sing. We did this. We did that. And then totally they stopped that. And Baba used to teach through the monthly members. Monthly members, Baba used to scold them. Baba used to shout them, the monthly members, and then he used to teach through the monthly member to the people. And that is the system of Baba's work. And then next day when these people, they came, they never said anything, we did this work and we did that work and we spread your name. Nobody said, Such type the lesson Baba used to give to the people, monthly people, through monthly people, he used to give all these lessons to everybody. And that is, I think, so real miracles of Meher Baba. This is the real miracles, control our weaknesses, And he did in his whole life, he did that, control the weaknesses. I think so that is good, that is good lesson for us also. Mommy is here. She likes to sing. Now she will sit here and she will sing. Okay? Jai Baba.
We can just bring the microphone over.
Wait till- wait till- yeah, but
She can sit here, it's okay.
you can sit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just sit closer,
No,
Mom.
no.
Yeah, but.
This is microphone.
No, she will sit here.
Okay, yeah. I thought the seat was high.
कौन सा गाड़ी?
हाँ?
कौन सा गाड़ी?
That is our friend Akash wearing the original t-shirt. But his head is cut off. Helps Mama with the issues. Every time they're serving food in the compound, like for center or something, last night he was slaving over a hot fry oil puri pot. Making many puris. Can you hear me?
It's the plastic probably. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Maha.
Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba Maha.
Jai Baba.
पानी दे।
Jai Baba Maha, wherever you are.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
ये नहीं दूसरा थे मुंह सुपरा मेरा
ये वाला।
हाँ ये वाला। तेरी नजर से भावजी सॉन्ग तेरी नजर से तेरी नजर से तेरी नजर से मेहर दीवाने हो गए हम तेरी नजर से मेहर दीवाने हो गए हम दिल में जला के दीपक परवाने हो गए हम दिल में जला के दीपक परवाने हो गए हम आंसू बहा बहा कर
दिन रात तेरे गम में हम आंसू बहा बहा कर, दिन रात तेरे गम में हम आंसुओं से दीप पाकर। जी इसके आज तक आंसुओं से दीप पाकर मैं खाने हो गए हम, आंसुओं से दीप पाकर मैं खाने हो गए हम। तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से मेहर दीवाने हो गए हम। मुझे को न छेड़ो कोई, दुनिया से क्या है मतलब, गला गया। मुझे को न छेड़ो कोई, दुनिया से क्या है मतलब, दिल के तकाजे से पैमाने हो गए हम, दिल के तकाजे से पैमाने हो गए हम। अपना तो होश खोया मोहब्बत का जाम पीकर,
अपना तो होश खोया
मोहब्बत का जाम पीकर, पर तेरे होश में अब फरजाना हो गए हम, तेरे होश में अब फरजाना हो गए हम। मेरी उजड़ रही है दिल की कहूँ क्या बस्ती, आज गए काम से। मेरी उजड़ रही है दिल की कहूँ क्या बस्ती, लेकिन बसाने फिर से वीराना हो गए हम, लेकिन बसाने फिर से वीराने हो गए हम। तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से मेहर दीवाने हो गए हम। भाव है दूर कितनी मंजिल मुझे बता दे, भाव है दूर कितनी मंजिल मुझे बता दे, मंजिल को पाने को मस्ताने हो गए हम, मंजिल को पाने को मस्ताने हो गए हम। तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से, तेरी नजर से मेहर दीवाने हो गए हम। खट्टा खाती तो गला चल रहा है, तो जाओ ज्वान का पानी थी। चला ठीक है। क्या मतलब चले। लगी लगी जब आग सीने में समुद्र तब नजर आया। डोंकी लगी जब आग सीने में समुद्र तब नजर आया, बुझाने पर नहीं बुझती मसीहा तब नजर आया। बुझाने पर नहीं बुझती मसीहा तब नजर आया, लगी जब आग सीने में समुद्र तब नजर आया। रूह से आहे गर निकले, रूह से घर निकले ओ आए चले ओ मासुक जब बने आशिक करिश्मा
जब नजर आया
ओ मासुक जब बने आशिक करिश्मा
जब नजर आया
लगी जब आग सीने में
समंदर जब नजर आया वो जलवा
वो जलवा आम मत समझो जो मिल जाए बाजारों में वो जलवा आम मत समझो जो मिल जाए बाजारों में
यहाँ खत्म हो गया
अरे तो दूसरा है
खत्म हो गया
खत्म नहीं हुआ है घर बंदा खा के हो जाए रहमत तब नजर आए वो बंदा खा के हो जाए रहमत
तब नजर आया
की जब आग सीने में समुंदर जब नजर आया सरे बाजार ये कह दो कि यारो देख लो इनको सरे बाजार ये कह दो कि यारो देख लो इनको ये मौका फिर नहीं मिलना जो मुश्किल से नजर आया ये मौका फिर नहीं मिलना जो मुश्किल से नजर आया लगी जब आग सीने में समुंदर जब नजर आया मुझसे नजर आया उन्हीं से प्यार हुआ रोशन मसीहा देख लो यारो उन्हीं से प्यार हुआ रोशन मसीहा देख लो यारो खुदा ताला मेहर बाबा सुभान अल्लाह नजर आया खुदा ताला मेहर बाबा सुभान अल्लाह नजर आया लगी जब आग सीने में समुंदर जब नजर आया जय बाबा अभी चलने लगा
पानी दूं
देखो सना हो बाबा का गाना है लिखा वाला भाऊ जी ने लिखा
She's saying that.
सना हो सिफते बाबा दिले हर बार करते सना हो सिफते बाबा दिले हर बार करते हमें ख्वाहिश दरमा की तो वे भी मार करते हैं हमें ख्वाहिश दरमा की तो वे भी मार करते हैं पिला के पहले मैं प्यार पहले मैं बाबा दिलाते पीछे है मस्ती पिला के पहले मैं बाबा
पिले तो पीछे है
मस्ती बना के पहले दीवाना पीछे होशियार करते हैं बना के पहले दीवाना पीछे होशियार करते हैं सदा हो सिफते बाबा दिले हर बार करते हैं बने हैं के बाबा की तपावे वस्त्र अल्लाह का बने है खा के बाबा की तो पावे वसल अल्लाह का। दिला के मार जूते की गले का हार करते हैं। दिला के मार जूते की गले का हार करते हैं। सना हो श्रीपते बाबा मिले हर बार करते हैं। हमें ख्वाहिश फकीरी की ये राह इश्क हक में, हमें ख्वाहिश फकीरी की उन्हीं पे इतबार करते हैं। हमें ना पाके गाफिल को मिले वस्ले खुदा कैसा। हमें ना पाके गाफिल को मिले वस्ले खुदा कैसा। मिलाने पाकी बाबा से अर्ज विशियार करते हैं। मिलाने पाकी बाबा से अर्ज विशियार करते हैं। क्या पहला शब्द जी। सलामो सिफते बाबा दिले हर बार करते हैं। सारी कोशिशें बर्बाद की खुद फरिश्ते ने। हमारी दिल की ये बातें सारे दरबार करते हैं। हमारी दिल की ये बातें सारे दरबार करते हैं। सना हो सिफते बाबा दिले हर बार करते हैं। जय बाबा।
Jay Baba. Maybe Mehernath can translate that. Can you translate that, Mehernath? It's Huma? Huma?
जय बाबा।
जय बाबा, जय बाबा।
जय बाबा।
Jai Baba.
मास्क मास्क।
Thank you, Maha.
Jai Baba Ma.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Mummy, she sang 2 songs of Bhauji and one of Huma. सना हो सिफते बाबा दिल हर बार करते हैं। हमें ख्वाहिश दरमा की तो बीमार करते। When we need the medicine, you know, then he make us sick. That is his work. Mostly when we get sick, then we go to the doctor. But here the doctor, you know, he makes us sick and then we go for the medicine. हमें ख्वाहिश दरमा की तो वे बीमार करते हैं। सना हो से फतेह बाबा दिल हर बार करते। All the time he does such type of the work, you know. दिलाकर मार जूतों की गले का हार करते। He beat us with the shoes all the time, means trouble. All the time he gives the trouble, and finally at last he makes the garland of his neck to us. दिलाकर मार जूतों की गले का हार करते हैं। ख्वाहिश दरमा की तो बीमार करते हैं। बना के पहले दीवाना पहले पीछे होशियार करते हैं। First he makes us the mad, you know, mentally, and then afterwards he makes us the conscious for the God. But first we have to become mad, you know. बना के पहले दीवाना पीछे होशियार करते हैं। And that is the Baba's ghazal. And in the name of Huma, Baba, he has written this ghazal. Sana ho sifate Baba dil har baar karte hain. Baba composed 84 ghazals, I think so. Total 84 ghazals, you know. And this is the one of the ghazal, you know, in 84. It is published, na? It is not published.
I think that the archives and Ward are working on the Huma. Yeah, and maybe Jean also.
John which?
Jean, the French Jean.
John is working on it.
Yeah, that and archives. word, yeah.
In Baba's ghazal, if we see, Hindi words, Urdu words, Farsi words, and Gujarati words are there, and 4 languages just Baba mixed, and that's why in world also, what change we are observing, different people, they speak different language, different thing, and that is also the oneness of the world. Oneness, world is coming closer and closer, and that is good. People can learn the languages. The mostly Farsi words are there in Baba's ghazal, 84 ghazal. Peter Booth is expert in Farsi. He learned Farsi language. I think so. It is really the good language. We should learn also the Farsi language. We'll understand, because Baba said about the hoppies,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Most of the people, they quote, all the ghazal singers, or most of the saint also, walis also, they quote the Hafiz ghazal, and Baba said in 2000 years, nobody has written such type of the hearts language, what Hafiz did. And mostly people, they quote the ghazals of Hafiz, his words. And that is important. Now it got translated into English, but I think so original language totally it is different. If people they learn the original language, then depth is there all the time. Like Baba's God speak, it is in English. Original language is English. And people they translate into different languages, then that gist never comes, it is in Marathi, Hindi also, but it becomes more complicated because dictionary words and dictionary things. That's why all the time original language is really good. Now Genesis said, what John and who else is working on ghazal of archives people, they are working on that. I think so maybe it will get published in future.
We did that. Paul Smith, someone in Australia, published Puma ghazals, translated but I don't know if he had any permission. He published a couple of books, I think. So they're available, but whether they're good
So
or
maybe
not, I
he
don't
collected from different people.
Yeah.
He did
I
that.
think so.
Yeah. Then maybe he took the permission from Meher Baba then. If Baba's permission is there, then no problem, But that is his collection, his own collection. When it is his own collection, then who has the copyright? Meher Baba. It's good. But in Umar's ghazal, good words are there, good meaning is there, depth is there, all the depth. People can do that. Now it is almost 8 o'clock, na?
Yeah.
And just now, I think so now all of you have to take breakfast and other things. Then we'll perform Baba's prayer, beloved God, and just next week and next Sunday, we'll come again and we'll share our stories, incident. Today we celebrated the Easter, online Easter, really good, Happy Easter to everybody, and we'll perform Baba's Aarti, recite Baba's prayer, beloved God, and then next week we'll come together.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter to
Happy
you, Mary.
Easter.
Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy Easter.
Okay.
Can't see.
Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more
and more
and more and more
and
and still yet more
till
till
we
we become worthy of union with you.
and help us all to
to
love
hold fast to
Baba
Baba's Dhamma
till
till the very end.
Avtar Meher Baba
Baba
ki
Jai.
Avtar Meher Baba
Baba
ki jai.
Jai.
Avtar
Avtar
Meher
Meher Baba ki
Jai.
jai.
Jai. Happy
Jai
Easter.
Baba.
Easter.
Acha.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people are there. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai
Jai
Baba.
Easter.
Baba.
Yay.
Mehernath.
Bye-bye. Happy
Yay.
Easter.
Hey,
Happy
Baba.
Easter.
everyone. Jai
Bye.
Baba.
That was wonderful.
Jai
Normal.
Baba.
Bye-bye.
Jai Baba. Avtar
Jai
Meher
Baba.
Baba.
Anna, your voice is so
Jai
lovely.
Baba
Jai
ki
Baba.
But-
Jai.